Right now, somewhere in America, a senior is opening their mailbox, a veteran is checking their bank account, and a parent with a disability is refreshing their phone, hoping the deposit has landed. Maybe that person is you. Maybe it's someone in your family. And in February 2026, every single Social Security payment matters more than ever. Groceries cost more, rent keeps climbing, prescriptions aren't getting cheaper, and that monthly check? It's not just a number on a screen. It's your lifeline. It's the difference between stress and stability, between panic and peace of mind. That's why the February 2026 Social Security payment schedule is so important. One wrong assumption about your payment date can mean overdraft fees, late bills, or sleepless nights. And here's the truth. Millions of Americans are still confused about when their checks actually arrive. Some are expecting money too early. Others are waiting for a deposit that already came and went. February isn't just another month. It's the middle of winter. Heating bills are high. Credit card balances are creeping up after the holidays. And for many households, that Social Security payment is the only predictable income they have. In this video, we're breaking down exactly when your February 2026 Social Security SSDI or SSI payment is scheduled to arrive. We'll explain it in simple, clear language. No confusing charts, no government jargon, no complicated rules. Just the facts that affect you, your family, and your wallet. Because when you know your payment date, you can plan, you can breathe easier, and you can take control of your finances instead of waiting in the dark. The core February payment dates. Let's start with the most important part, the main February 2026 payment schedule. Social Security payments are not sent out all at once. Instead, they're spread across the month based on your birth date. And this is where many people get confused. If you receive Social Security retirement or SSDI benefits and you started collecting after May 1997, your payment date is based on your birthday. The government divides recipients into 3 groups. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your February payment is scheduled for the 2nd Wednesday of the month. That means your deposit is expected on February 11th, 2026. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment is scheduled for the 3rd Wednesday of the month. That means you should see your deposit on February 18th, 2026. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment is scheduled for the 4th Wednesday. For February 2026, that puts your payment date on February 25th, 2026. 3 groups, 3 Wednesdays. That's the basic structure. But here's where it gets interesting and why you need to keep watching. Not everyone follows that schedule. Some people get paid earlier. Some get paid on a completely different date. And if you don't know which category you fall into, you could be expecting money at the wrong time. Who gets paid on February 3rd? Now let's talk about the group that gets paid first each month. And if you're in this category, your February check comes much earlier than the Wednesday schedule. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, you're on a different payment system. Instead of the birthday-based schedule, your payment usually arrives on the 3rd of each month. For February 2026, that means your payment is scheduled for Tuesday, February 3rd. This group often includes older retirees who have been receiving benefits for decades. Many of them rely on this payment as their main source of income. And because it arrives earlier in the month, it helps cover essential bills like rent, utilities, and insurance. But there's an important detail here. If the 3rd falls on a weekend or federal holiday, the payment is usually sent on the previous business day. In February 2026, the 3rd is a normal weekday, so payments should follow the regular schedule. If you're in this group, you should expect your deposit right at the beginning of the month. And if it's not there, that's when you start checking your bank, your Direct Express card, or your Social Security account. Because for millions of Americans, that February 3rd payment is the moment the month officially begins. The SSI payment for February 2026. Now let's talk about SSI, Supplemental Security Income. This program is different from standard Social Security and SSDI, and that means the payment schedule is different too. SSI payments are usually sent on the 1st day of the month, so for February 2026, the payment is scheduled for February 1st. But here's the twist. February 1st, 2026 falls on a Sunday, and when the payment date lands on a weekend, the Social Security Administration sends the payment early. That means SSI recipients should expect their February payment on Friday, January 30th, 2026. Yes, you heard that right. The February SSI payment actually arrives in January, and this is where a lot of confusion happens. Some people think they're getting an extra payment. Others worry that their February check is missing, but in reality, it's just arriving early because of the weekend. So if you receive SSI, you should have already seen your February payment by the end of January. And if you didn't, that's when it's time to contact your bank or the Social Security Administration. Understanding this one change can prevent a lot of stress and confusion. Why payment timing matters more in 2026. Now you might be wondering, why does the exact payment date matter so much this year? Because 2026 is shaping up to be a financially tight year for many households. Inflation has slowed in some areas, but everyday costs are still high. Rent, utilities, and healthcare continue to eat up larger portions of fixed incomes. For millions of Americans, Social Security is not just a supplement, it's their primary source of income. Some retirees rely on it for more than 80% of their monthly budget. So when a payment arrives even a few days later than expected, it can create a domino effect. A late utility payment turns into a late fee, a delayed rent check becomes a penalty, a missed prescription refill becomes a health risk. And that's why knowing your exact February payment date is more than just a calendar detail. It's a financial survival tool. When you know when the money is coming, you can schedule bills, you can plan groceries, you can avoid overdrafts, and you can keep your household running smoothly. Direct deposit versus paper checks. Another factor that affects when you receive your payment is how you get it. Are you using direct deposit or are you still receiving a paper check? Most Social Security recipients now use direct deposit. It's faster, safer, and more reliable. When payments are issued, they usually show up in the account on the same day. But if you still receive a paper check, the timing can be very different. Mail delivery can be unpredictable. Weather delays, postal issues, or local disruptions can push your check back by several days. And in a month like February, when winter storms are common, that delay can be even more likely. If your payment is critical for rent, groceries, or medication, switching to direct deposit could make a big difference. It reduces uncertainty and gives you faster access to your money. Because when your finances are tight, waiting on the mail is a risk most people simply can't afford. How to stay ahead of future changes. Social Security payment schedules don't usually change dramatically from month to month, but holidays, weekends, and administrative updates can shift dates slightly. And sometimes, bigger policy changes or benefit adjustments can affect the amount you receive. That's why staying informed is so important. When you follow updates, you're not caught off guard. You're not scrambling at the last minute. You're prepared. Checking your Social Security account online, reviewing official notices, and staying updated with reliable news sources can make a real difference in your financial stability. Because when it comes to your benefits, information is power. At the end of the day, Social Security isn't just a government program. It's the paycheck millions of Americans depend on. It's the grocery money, the rent money, the prescription money, the peace of mind money. And in February 2026, knowing your exact payment date could mean the difference between a smooth month and a stressful one. So take a moment today, check your birthday group, look at the schedule, make sure you know when your deposit is coming. Because when you stay informed, you stay in control. And when you stay in control, your family's financial future becomes a little more secure. If this update helped you understand your February Social Security schedule, stay tuned for the next one. New changes, new payment dates, and new financial updates are always around the corner. And the more you know, the stronger your financial future can be.